So before we start with the webinar, I request all the participants that you should mute yourself, and when you have any doubts, any questions at the end, then you can put it in the chat box and we can have a question answer session at the end of the webinar. So good morning to all the faculty who has joined, and all the UG students, the PG students and the interns who have joined for this webinar. This webinar is mainly to inculcate a stimulation in the mind of the young researchers in the form of students to get innovative ideas so that they can be converted into copyright startups and innovations. And for this, we have a special guest speaker, Dr. Tanushree Banerjee. She is from Dr. D.Y. Patil Institute of Biotechnology and Bioinformatics. I'll just quickly share her introduction and then we can have Dr. Tanushree Banerjee with us. So she is Associate Professor of Dr. D.Y. Patil Technology and Bioinformatics Institute. She is in charge of the Molecular Neuroscience Research Laboratory. She has got a lot of research projects and grants to her disposal. She has the DST, she's the DST Inspire faculty. She has DST grants. She has many projects to her name. She has her research area is mainly in regulation of glucose metabolism in brain cells, role of insulin resistance in neurodegenerative diseases. She has won a lot of awards at national, international levels, recognitions at national and international levels. And she has high impact publications in high impact journals. So we have a very renowned speaker amongst ourselves, Dr. Tanushree Banerjee. I welcome Dr. Tanushree Banerjee for the webinar, and I request Madam to start with her talk.
Thank you, Dr. Parth, for this warm and kind introduction. Wish you all a very warm morning. Today we have a little cloudy weather, right? So to all those present here, faculty, our young mind students, a very warm morning to all of you. I would like to thank Homeopathy Medical College and Research Center Principal Dr. Sharma and Dr. Parth for giving me this opportunity to interact with our future innovators. You are the young minds, so most of the responsibility of taking the nation ahead lies on you. Okay, so please allow me to share my talk. Okay. Now today's talk is about innovative idea scouting, critical thinking, and mentorship support. Now let's first try to understand about Institution Innovation Council, that is the prerogative of Government of India to promote innovation in our country. Why are we so emphasizing so much on innovation these days? Innovation is kind of like a buzzword, right? Everybody is talking about innovation. So what is it? Earlier we used to talk about inventions. These days we talk about innovations. So what happened? Did we get bored with the old terminology? Or is there really a difference between invention and innovation? Innovation is basically creating new things, increasing the applicability, usability of the existing scientific principles, products, technology from users' perspective. So yes, there is a difference between innovation and invention. And why is user perspective so important? Because humanity is full of challenges. They are facing so many challenges. Entire world is thinking about how to mitigate those challenges. We are also thinking. But our global innovation index currently is not that impressive. Our rank globally is 45th. Though we have come up a lot in the last 5-6 years, we have actually come up 35 places from 75th rank to now we have reached to 46th rank, which is pretty impressive. That means we are making steady progress. But how to accelerate this rate of growth? For that, the responsibility lies on young minds like you, our young doctors, our young students, those who are here. It is our responsibility to take the nation ahead in that global innovation index. And that's why we have gathered here today. You have not gathered to listen to me. You have gathered to tap your own potential, your own ingenuity, to think, how can we solve societal problems? Towards this, Government of India has started IICs, that is Institutions Innovation Councils, in all over the country across various institutes, higher education institutes. And the purpose is to foster a culture of thinking. We call it Think in India culture. Foster an ecosystem which is based on entrepreneurship startups in higher education institutes. And that is the reason that DPU also has started Institutes Innovation Council, got it registered with MOE, that is Ministry of Education. And now we have DPU Foundation for Innovation, Incubation and Entrepreneurship. The head of this is Dr. Swarada Prerannavar, and she is helped by the managers, Dr. Rohan Gavli and Dr. Zafar Azim. Across India, we have various such incubation centers. In Pune, we have NCL Venture Center, which is a famous incubation center. What is the role of these incubation centers? They not only provide mentorship, but they also nurture the young researchers, young startups by giving them a platform for conducting their research. So we do have our own IIC at our DPU. Now, who are innovation ambassadors? For fostering Think in India culture and for promoting entrepreneurship and innovation, Government of India has given formal training to various researchers, academicians, doctors throughout the country to mentor the young students, young minds like you, who are already having so much potential. Many of you are maybe already inclined for being innovators to solve societal problems. A little guidance may be required. And that's why we are here. From our institute, that is DYP BBI, we have two innovation ambassadors, Dr. Amit Ranjan and myself. To give one-to-one mentorship, MHRD mandates that we open a clinic. It's not actually a clinic like doctor's clinic, like you all are acquainted with. They have coined this term to facilitate mentorship sessions. One-to-one mentorship will be given, and every innovation ambassador can choose to have a suitable time depending upon his/her convenience to open this clinic. Tentatively for Dr. Amit and myself, the clinic timing is 3 to 5 on Saturdays. So we would be available for you all if you need any guidance, if you need one-to-one interaction. Okay, so now shall we proceed for the actual talk? That is, the idea is innovative ideas scouting, which means to look for innovative ideas, right? Critical thinking, to think about a solution, correct? How do we approach that problem? how do we go about finding a problem? The only thing that scientists are habituated to doing is to observe. Observe your family, observe your friends, your distant relatives, your society, watch news, try to see what the society is facing. What is the problem? What is the real pain point that needs to be addressed? Keep asking yourself, can I make this thing better? Can I make their life easy? Can I come up with a solution? So when you start asking questions to yourself, that means you have observed so well that you have started empathizing with their problem. That is very important. You will have to feel, empathize with the problem. Then only you will be able to define the problem. Okay, looks like this is the common pain point which needs to be addressed, right? So problem identification, that is the first step. Then question is, how do I address that problem, right? I will have to come up with some idea. Now, these idea will be much more fresh, much more innovative for young minds like you, right? If a senior person like Dr. Parth will have to come up with ideas, he will come up, but he will have to think of a lot of constraints, right? Like whether he will get funding from government, whether the institute will give funding, whether the society will like it or not, right? But for young minds, it is like we will have to do it. By hook or by crook, somehow we will solve this problem. So they will come up with all ingenious out of the box ideas. And that is the purpose of having such webinars, to nurture young minds like you who have so much potential to innovate. Let's say we have come up with a simple problem, like the bathroom slippers. It slips, right? It causes accidents. Can we design something to avoid such accidents? Our elderly relatives like grandmother, grandfather, they are at risk, right? If their bathroom slippers slip. So what we will do? Let's start making some designs, make some sketches. Just sit with a pen and a paper. Start drawing, okay? You don't have to be artistic. Just think how the grooves could be made. How can we make it more firm? So it's like developing multiple sketches, and then we will try to show it to the user. We will show it to our grandparents. Does it look okay to you? Chalega kya? Ya thoda improve kare? So take ideas, take opinions from the users. Let's say you came up with 30 designs, 30 sketches. You showed it to your mother and grandmother. They said these 10 looks okay, lagta hai kaam karega. Okay, so what you did, you selected those 10 ideas. Now, based on those 10 ideas, it's not possible to develop all of them to product, right? So you will think, let's okay, make some model. Ghar pe kuch rubber gira hoga, try to carve out those grooves. Whatever is readily available, try to make a model out of it. See if it is working. Give it to the end users. See if they are liking it. Does it need any kind of improvement? So from that mock-up, you build a working prototype. Prototype means it is actually the product, just a little crude, okay? Made in a very shabby way. We don't have the fancy materials for building that product. Okay, so whatever was readily available, I took all those and started building a prototype. Please remember that at every step, feedback is very important. Feedback means you can take your friends' feedback. You can take end users' feedback. You can even approach your teachers, experts, okay, and then take feedback. But please remember, you will have to implement it. That is, make your dream come true. This is your dream. Try to live it and make it a point to come true. That is to launch the product. Unless the product reaches the society, there is no innovation. Okay. So what we did, we came up with an idea for solving a problem and systematically developed a solution for it that will impact the society positively. Correct? So this design thinking is a terminology which means the process of transforming the idea through systematic reasoning to a solution which will impact positively a large section of the society. I can see a few chats coming. So do we address the questions now or at the end?
Ma'am, we'll address it at the end.
Okay, all right. The next is innovation. Next terminology that we are calling it as buzzword, right? So what is the first thing that we need to do if we have to innovate, if we have to increase the usability, applicability of an existing scientific principle, of an existing technology? What we have to do? First, we will have to find out where is this technology lacking? Where is the scope of improvement? Is there anything which needs to be developed new for solving a critical problem? So problem identification is the first step in innovation. Then we come up with ideas, ingenious ideas. Like say these days, you all were doing online classes and now you have come up to meet your friends and do your offline classes, right? But at this time, you must be feeling that we should be set free. We should be able to enjoy, right? We should hold on annual trips like we used to have earlier. But now there are constraints, right? So maybe one of you will come up with, let's go for space tourism in a college trip. Everybody, all your friends will love. What is space tourism? Why would we go on space? How would we go on space? Crazy, right? At this current point, it sounds crazy, but the technology is already there. Space tourism technology is already there. People may call you crazy, but it may be you who comes up with a solution to make it affordable for you, for your friends. At this point, what is there? The technology is there, but it is not affordable by most of us, right? So if we make it affordable, that is innovation. So one person who came up with a completely crazy idea and was laughed at may not be the crazy one. He is the one who has ingenuity. She is the one who can come up with solutions, right? When you come up with solutions, please remember for whom the solution is being developed. Here, I will tell you a story. How many of you have seen letterboxes or used it? Seen to sabhi ne kiya hoga, but how many of you have actually used letterboxes? Our generation or your generation hardly go to the post office, right? We do not use letterboxes. For us, it is majorly emails, WhatsApp, all that. But letterboxes are still widely used. Where? First in rural India. Next, letterboxes are used very prominently for official mails. All official mails will come through post, right? So for that, we need letterboxes. Unfortunately, the condition of the letterboxes were so poor that the time we used to get the letter, it will be all either drenched in water. It was like dripping water is there. Nothing is legible. कुछ पढ़ नहीं सकते हैं क्योंकि letterbox में जंग लग गया है. It's all rusted. Holes हो गए हैं. The water is seeping inside. And It may be that you put the letter inside the litter box, it will सीधा जाके ज़मीन पे गिरेगा instead of the litter box, right? So all these kind of problems were there. So government of India thought that how to solve this problem. So they talked with IIT Bombay, Dr. B.K. Chakravarti's group, and they said that design new letter boxes, which should be free of rusting, there should be no leakage, nothing. So what they did, they started with design thinking. So they came up with multiple sketches. Now these are not their sketches, I have just put it random, but they have developed sketches like that. Let's say many sketches they developed. From that, they chose a few good sketches. And they came up with a nice, innovative, good looking, very sophisticated looking letterbox. You see the opening of the letterbox, it looks like the beak of a bird. So, the naughty kids, they cannot put the crackers inside and just bust it. हम लोग करते थे ना, letterbox में cracker डाल के जला दिया, just to make fun of, just to enjoy, right? So to avoid all this, they made a beautiful letterbox, which was leak proof, rust free, and it had very nice look. So they installed this letterbox in a pilot run in cities like Bombay. They got excellent reviews. People were very happy to see that. So they thought that let's scale up the production and install it in rural areas where actually the letterboxes are used. And to their surprise, they found that the letterbox was not used at all. Some people have thrown actually garbage in it. And people were like, what is this? Rural India, they did not appreciate it because they could not recognize that it is a letterbox. It looked so different. They did not see the logo and could not read. Okay, I'm sure that agar COVID mein isko install karte, some people would have thought it is a hand sanitizer dispenser. जाके सामने खड़े हो जाते कि sanitizer dispense होगा, right? So this was the kind of review that they got when they installed it in rural area. So again, they had to go back to their prototype stage, where they came up with a design which is red, because the color red is associated with the post box. Finally, thanks to Professor B.K. Chakravarti's team, we now have good letterboxes being installed throughout the country. Now the thing is, why was I telling you this story? Because we will have to remember that when we develop a solution, we will have to keep our users in mind. Who are my user? Are they going to appreciate it? Because finally our aim is to reach the society. If there is a solution which does not reach the society, it is not innovation. Okay, so for you to ensure that it reaches the society, please come up with solutions which are appreciated or usable by the society. Now we said that problem identification is the first step of innovation, right? Now just based on what type of problem it is, there are different types of innovation. Sustaining innovation, it means the technology is there. We are just improving the applicability. Okay, we are trying to add additional features to it. It is like saying we have the destination fixed, we know where to go, and we have 5 different paths to go towards that destination. In sustaining innovation, only our job is to select the correct path to reach to that destination. Since the destination is already fixed, the solutions are already there, right? The only thing is we are increasing the applicability. Maximum innovation happens in this field, sustaining innovation. breakthrough innovation, where it requires a completely, out of the box thinking, very difficult problem to solve. Let's say somebody asks you that you develop a cure for cancer with homeopathy. You will have to take help of various fields, cancer biologists, those who are chemists, those who are doing the various types of drug innovations. Different variety of expertise will be required. Yeah, I think I got muted. So we were talking about breakthrough mutations. We are talking about fields which are difficult to solve, problems which are difficult to solve and requires highly innovative ideas, expertise from different fields. Third type is the disruptive innovation. These are the types which completely changes the course of innovation, like our mobile phones. Few years back, not few years, let's say 20 years back, Nokia used to be with all of us, right? Nokia used to be the brand name for mobile. But as soon as Android captured the mobile market and Nokia did not catch up, it almost got wiped out from the market, right? So it's not only coming up with a solution, you will have to change your business model. This is disruptive innovation. It changes the course entirely. Right now, this thing is happening for, electric cars. Those who are developing electric cars, that is two main reasons. What are they? One is to be environmental friendly. Second, to be cost effective, to save the non-renewable resources, right? Now, environmental friendly, that problem is solved. Yes, all electric vehicles are environmental friendly, but are they affordable? Right now, they are not. So those companies, automobile companies, who will not be able to catch up with the advancing technology for making affordable electric cars, they will be left behind. So this is a changing course of innovation. Fourth is basic research. That is to understand the fundamental principles. Although basic research is not directly coming into market, but all applied innovations, all applied research is based on basic research. So what we talked about, problem identification. What are the different types of problems that needs to be identified for being innovative? I mean, just because I'm saying all this bada word, disruptive and all that, does not mean that it is difficult, especially for us. Us means we Indians. We are good at what? Jugaad. हम जुगाड़ लगाना जानते हैं. We know how to solve a problem in adversity with limited resources, right? So innovation should not be difficult for us. It is inbuilt in us. Generations of our forefathers have done the same thing, jugaad. You see this, how many of you have used mitti ka ghada? I'm sure many of you here would have used mitti ka ghada. I myself, I used it when I used to be in hostel for 10 years. Okay. Why? To keep the water cool. But how many of you thought that this simple scientific principle could be used to make a refrigerator, electricity-free refrigerator? This person did. Mansukh Bhai Prajapati, a small farmer from Gujarat. He empathized with the problem of vegetable vendors, fruit vendors who do not have access to refrigerator, who cannot keep their foods, fruits and vegetables fresh. So he thought that how can I use this principle for making a fridge. Now you see, this innovation has led to this big shop. It is called as Mitti Cool. Cool innovation, right? He received so many awards. He even get coverage, international coverage he got. So we are all good at it. Why only this? If you go to the site of betterindia.org, you will see so many numerous examples of Jugaad. Very basic resources and absolutely amazing technology being developed. Now we all know that farmers, they are not very well economically doing right these days. Whereas they are growing the food, they are putting in most of the efforts. But when we buy the food from the market, they are not getting the majority of the profit percent. And when we buy processed food, the price increases almost 10 times. But the farmers are still poor. So Dharamveer, a rickshaw puller in Delhi, he is a son of a farmer. He thought, how can he solve this problem? So he ingeniously, with whatever was available, he made a food processing machine, multi-purpose food processing machine. He got nationwide acclaim, awards. Now he is known as Kisan Dharamveer. Similarly, this young boy, Madhav, 20 years old, his friend was having hearing disability. So he had to discontinue the studies. So he was empathizing with his friend that, oh my God, my friend had to leave studies. So he developed something called as Transcribe Glass. It was inspired by Google Glass, but it was more affordable for converting speech to text. So what I am trying to make a point is, just because we are using different terminologies, trying to make it sound very technical, does not make it difficult. The only thing is you will have to empathize with a problem. ठान लेना है कि solve करना है इस problem को कैसे भी. Just stay within the laws and just try to solve it. Build your network. Get in touch with your seniors. Get in touch with your friends or people, relatives who are already in a position to help you, right? Don't think about constraints. You are at a stage where the limitations are minimum. So this is the best stage to utilize, to be innovators, to be entrepreneurs. Who recognizes this? Jaipur Foot. We have so many army people who have lost their limbs in wars and all, but they are not able to afford the costly prosthetics available worldwide. So Dr. Pramod Sethi in India came in touch with a craftsman. You know, craftsmen, those who build those plaster of Paris ke murti banate hain, right? Plaster of Paris. He came in contact with Ramchandra, that craftsman, and he asked him to make a prosthetic leg, low cost prosthetic leg, which is solving the problem of amputation, leg amputation below knee. Okay. Now it is famous worldwide. So we have made Jugaad so famous worldwide that International European Union is now recognizing Jugaad as a mode of sustainable innovation. So they have given a new term for that, frugal innovation, correct? Institute of Copenhagen have started a complete stream on frugal innovation. And you know who they hire? They hire Indian inventors because they know that they are good in Jugaad. Okay, so why are we lagging behind in Global Innovation Index? We are so good at it, right? So let's make it a point from 46th position. We will soon come up within a year or two in the top 10. So that's the aim of Government of India. Frugality, that is your Jugaad, has now become digital. सब कुछ progress कर रहा है, Jugaad भी progress कर रहा है, right? So this digital frugality means we are using the digital technology with limited resources, particularly in banking sector. Banks these days, even the topmost international banks, they do not invest in buildings. They are going towards, portable devices, micro ATMs. Our own RBI, Reserve Bank of India, have started micro ATMs to start with digital frugality. So what is the lesson? We have the resource within us. We will have to tap our ingenuity, our own thought process. That is our biggest resource. We know how to come up with a solution with whatever limited source we have available. Right? This entire innovation thing is based on the trifecta of desirability, feasibility, and viability. Desirability means the society should need it. I should not come up with a solution जिसकी कोई requirement ही नहीं है, right? Feasibility, it should be feasible. I should have the resources for that. Viability, it should be long-term solution. So if all these are there, then we are in the sweet spot of innovation. These are the factors we will have to keep in mind. Context, like I said, the example of letterbox. Context means the situation. We will have to take care of the problem in its relevant situation. Now, if I say that so many people are dying of cholera and typhoid in rural India, why don't we give them AquaGuard or MI purifier? Will that solution work? They are not able to afford those purifiers. That is why the problem exists. Correct? So we will have to come up with a contextual solution which can be affordable. Just like the example of the letterbox. We will have to take care of the socio-economic needs, the cultural aspect, then analyze the resources and design the product. So all these steps are called as ideation step, where it is not just the idea. We are thinking about what are the constraints. How can we go around it, exploring the possibilities? What are the more number of experiments we can perform? And then with the help of new technology, we will have to ideate a solution. So all these steps is falling under ideation. Correct? And now we will go towards developing solution. Idea to bana liya humne. Now we are trying to develop the solution, that is the actual product. Kahan se start kiya tha? Started with drawing board. Now I am saying drawing board because I am not very good in computers, but many of you are, right? So you will say ki drawing board pe kya karna hai? I will straightway start with computer aided designing, CAD modeling, right? I'll develop my proof of concept, build a mock-up, then build the working prototype. And if the working prototype has received good user feedback, then only we will go for pilot study. Please remember, at every step, we will have to take care whether my customers are happy or not, whether my users are happy or not, whether they are just satisfied or they are sad or they are happy. Only if they are happy, we can go ahead. So not only for idea creation or evaluation, at every step, I will have to, or we will have to take user feedback. This helps in concept refinement, design refinement, and finally come up with the solution. Although it is a long path and it's not a very straightforward path, we do have pitfalls. If the user feedback is not in favor of us, we may have to go back to the previous step. Like in case of the letterbox, they launched the pilot production, but it failed. The user feedback was not good. So they had to go back to the mock-up stage, from where again they started building their different prototypes. Again, they went for pilot production. At each step, they are taking user feedback, and there is a chances of failure. User feedback will minimize it, the chances of failure. Once my pilot production is successful, then we will go for the final production. Now, these days, for final production, universities, institutes prefer that they start their own spin-off companies. So once the solution or technology is protected, IPR, in intellectual property rights. So your IP is protected in the form of either copyright or patent. Then we go for spin-off companies, that is, companies under the umbrella of the institution. Or you may even start your own startup, okay? Or you may choose to collaborate with an established industry. So either of these options are available with you. Please remember, whatever option you choose after IP protection, your final goal is to reach the society. Okay, so that is the final aim of innovation, to do societal benefit, to solve humanity's challenges. Okay. Thank you so much for listening to me and for bearing up with me. Okay, I'd like to thank Homeopathy Medical Institute and Research Center for giving me this opportunity to interact with you all. Okay, it makes me really happy. I would like to thank Dr. D.Y. Patil Vidyapeeth and my own institute, Professor Pal, for giving me the permission to conduct this lecture. And most of the thanks to my audience, our young doctors, our young minds. You are very patient listeners. Thank you so much. Dr. Parth, I would like to take questions now.
Yes, ma'am. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Tanushree Banerjee to take out time of a busy schedule and giving us such a wonderful talk and enlightening us young students as to how to design a creative idea, innovative idea, and then how can you take it forwards. You know, ma'am, all of the students, all of us have the ideas in mind, but we don't have the proper guidance as to how to go about it. It may, as you said, as you depicted in your presentation, even the smallest idea, we think that it is very small, how can I go ahead? But then if we have a proper guidance and we can go ahead, and we have our guidance in the form of DPU Incubation Center. So I request everybody to take advantage of the DPU Incubation Center. The innovation ambassadors are there to help you, so that if any difficulty is there, you can directly contact them and get your queries solved.
Definitely, sir. That is why we are here. Yes.
Yes. So, ma'am, we have a couple of questions.
Yes.
First question is if we have an idea, then how can we convert it into a startup?
From idea to startup, there are many steps in between. Okay. So as I said, first you will have to come up with a proper solution. Don't just think of startup at this stage only. You have an idea, very good. So you are almost halfway through, right? Now you come up with a design, come up with a solution. Take user feedback. Come in contact with the users. Baat karo unse, okay? Does it look like a good idea to you? Would you be able to use it? Will it make your life easy? That is the question. So normal user will not steal your idea. You know, we are very scared that agar hum kisi se puche to wo hamare ideas chura lenge. No, if you are just coming up with an idea and not saying much about your innovation, how you did it and all that. So you tell, this is the problem you said you are facing. Does this product solve your problem? Okay. So you just let him or her use it. Okay. Don't reveal all your innovations. Don't reveal all your intellectual property to them. Just give them the product. Let them use it. Okay. Kuch model banaiye aap. And then you show it to them. Take their feedback. Come up with refined models. Okay. And then once you have the proper system develop a proper product, for that you can get grants like your DBT BIRAC. Okay, BIRAC grant is there, big grant is there. Okay, you can even talk to your venture center people. They will guide you that if you need this kind of a platform technology, we have all these instruments. Why don't you come and use it? for developing your product. Sasta padega, right? It will be cheaper. So in the initial stages, if you think that you do not have grant and for developing the product, you require these machinery, try to get in touch with the incubation centers. They will help you. And in the meanwhile, work up on the grant section. Venture capitalists, private sector, they are also funding a lot of startups. When they realize that, yes, the product has potential, in the long term, they will get the benefit out of it. Why not? They will say, let's invest. Okay, so these are the initial stages for building the startup. Once you are in that stage, then you talk to your institute's innovation cell, incubation cell, and they will help you build the startup. Okay, all the paperwork, everything will go through, but you'll have to come up with the product or the application, whatever you are developing. Okay, does it answer the question?
Yes, ma'am. Also, the second question has been answered. If we have our own research done, can you guide us how it can be converted into a patent? So you have answered it right now. Next is how patents encourage innovation in technology development.
Patents are to protect the inventor. It is not encouragement. It is for protection. Encouragement from where you should get, from within. You should observe the society and feel that, okay, this is the problem in hand. I want to intervene with a solution. So that is the encouragement. No, don't work just because of getting the patent or getting the copyright. Those are all short-term things. Your patent has an expiry. Okay, so your patents will get expired, but your internal motivation will never get expired. Okay, so patent, once you come up with an idea, patents are there to protect you. Copyrights are there to protect your idea. You will have to do all the patent filing, all those procedures. And for that, Dr. Swarada helps at our institute. Those are there. But encouragement is a wrong word if we apply to the patent. Encouragement should come from the societal problem, your own ingenuity.
And next is how can you take your innovation and ideas to a business?
Again, the same question, that is, how do I take it to commercial stage, right? You have the innovative idea, you have the product, let's say आपने user feedback लिया, आपने prototype भी बना लिया. And now it is the chance for you to take it to the business level. Like I said, you can either take it as a own startup. For that, you will have to have some funding. Some amount the institute will give, like MHRD has made it a mandate that 1% of institute's income should be deviated for innovation. Okay, so obviously the institute is there to help, but how much can the institute help? There is a limitation there. So you will have to seek for your own grant. And in the meantime, the paperwork that is required for establishing the startup, that needs to go through our incubation cell. That is the DPU incubation cell.
Yeah. Last question is, if you are successful in converting into your idea into a startup, then how do you use the full potential of your employees so that it is not just a 9-to-5 job for them and invest their full mental potential?
This is an interesting question. Very good question, actually. Now, the thing is, there is a difference between your startup and spin-off companies. Spin-off companies means where you will employ your university employees. And again, that 9-to-5 thing creeps in. Okay, because as per university mandate, they will have to work. But if you are developing your own startup, then the rules are different. They don't have to fall within the stricture of the university. So you will have to not only promote your own startup and make sure that your manpower or your employees are motivated and happy. Just don't think of getting work out of them. Try to motivate them in a positive way. How you can do it? By understanding their requirements, right? So that will come at much later stage when you know that my startup is in the almost ready stage and now I should start recruiting. At that stage, you may not recruit only the employees of the institute, you may go for your own recruitment as well.
Yes, ma'am. Anybody has any other questions? Please, you are free to ask, ma'am. Okay. Yes, ma'am. I think the questions are well answered.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So coming to the end of the session, I would like to first thank the speaker, Dr. Tanushree Banerjee, for taking, as I said, time of a busy schedule and sparing time for us and enlightening the students as well as the PG students and faculty on how to design the idea and take it forward. I would also like to thank our DPU Incubation Center and Dr. Swarda Pirannavar for this initiative. I would like to thank the management of D.Y. Patil Vidyapeeth for all their support and guidance regarding the same. And I would like last but not the least, I would like to thank Dr. Sharma sir, our principal, to give us this permission and opportunity to have Dr. Tanushree Banerjee with us. I would like to thank Dr. J.K. Pal sir, Director of Biotechnology and Bioinformatics, to help us in this initiative. And we look forward to ma'am for your further talks as well on the same topics, IPR and related topics.
Thank you, sir. I also look forward for the same. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. And so I'll end the meeting now. Yeah. Okay, thank you.